Here today we're going to talk about finding your own style and being your own person and taking bits and pieces from people and, you know, getting, what is it called, inspired or inspiration from other people doing their own thing, and it inspires you to do your own thing.
When I tell you, for the culture!
I watch some YouTube videos on, you know, because I think everybody watches YouTube videos these days, but I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos of this one person where I gotta name names, but it's like some videos are cool, some videos are not. I'm not trying to like bash what they're making, but it's like you watch some of their videos and then you go back and you watch somebody else's videos and they like completely stole their whole idea and then try to make it theirs. That's not cool. Where they made a studio setup or whatever, not like a studio setup like this with like music studio, but like just a recording studio like for video stuff. In the long run, nobody cares where you record. Like, I've been doing this for a very long time. I went to school for it. I actually have a degree in video editing and this video stuff. Been doing it for a very long time. And it doesn't matter what lights you use. It doesn't matter what kind of microphone you use. It doesn't matter what kind of, you know, what kind of camera you use. People, you know, use their phones now as recording devices, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, you should subscribe to the channel and then go back on the timeline of all the videos. And I made a video about if you're going to use your phone as a video recording device, and this is what you're going to go with, how to do it the right way. The other point is, you know, you don't need to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on light setup. See, out here, you know, because I know from experience from going to school and doing hands-on training and making films and editing stuff, like even before I went to school, I was editing and making videos, but I went to school to know more about it. The light thing, okay, I get it. You know, get an onboard light. It don't matter what kind of light you have. You know, diffuse it. I also have another video about talking about using household items to diffuse your lighting. But you know, here in the studio, I'm using a daylight light in my light up here. You can't see it, but it's up here. It's the light that lights up this whole room. I don't have no special equipment behind me. I don't have no special equipment behind me with $2,000 worth of lights behind me. Like I just said, the light setup that I have up on top where you can't see is 2 daylight light bulbs that I just use regular basis. And in my house, that's how I set up the lights in my house. So I have, you know, and they're LED lights, so they don't take that much energy to run these lights. And I know some of these, you know, you get LED lights now with like 600 light bulbs. You don't need that many light bulbs. The small little LED lights with a bunch of 600 lights, you don't need that. See right now how I have this set up? There's natural light coming in from this window over here. So bam, you know, it's a 3-point lighting system. That's what you got to understand. You got to have 3 points of lighting. You can have 2, but that's not really going to work. You want to have 3. So I have 2 doors on my studio. I leave one of the doors open, and that door has a window on it, as you saw. So that's 1 point of lighting coming down. 2nd point of lighting coming down. 3rd point of lighting coming down is from the top. So, and then if you're actually doing an interview with somebody, you want to have light coming from here, boom. You want to have light coming from the side, boom. You want to have another light coming from this side, bam. So it hits the front of their face, the side of their face, this side of their face. And then if you want to make it real fancy, you get a backlight way up here in the top, and you hit it off with this effect, boom, the halo effect. So that light hits the top of their head and shoots down so that their shoulders are lit. And the microphone that I have on here is just a little onboard mic that I plug into my camera. You know, that's one thing that you should invest money in. If you're gonna invest money in something, is invest in a good microphone, because your video or whatever you're making can be, excuse my language, it could be half-ass edited, you know, half-ass transitioned. You don't know where to put the transitions, but you still put the transitions in there because you're still learning. That's okay. But your audio sucks and nobody's gonna watch it. So like, I've been watching this other video about, you know, people talking about frame rate. You know, 24 frames, 60 frames, 90 frames, 120 frames per second. You know, you're watching a YouTube video. How cinematic do you need to be? You should shoot at the highest frame rate, because like, if you want to slow-mo something down, you know, it has a good slow-mo effect. I've slowed down 60 frames per second before, and yeah, it's choppy, but whatever. You get the point across. But another thing is, like, if you're filming, like, shooting any type of, like, this is from the skateboard background, because I've been doing this for a very long time with skateboarding, filming it and making videos and putting them on DVDs and selling them, and then putting them on the internet and doing this and putting them in the skate shops and selling them and doing all that stuff. So like, skate videos, like when I was shooting or filming, because there's actually tape and there's film on the tape with the VX, I would shoot at 90 frames per second, 120 frames per second, because, you know, it looks better because you're skating, because you're going fast. And when you want to do the slow-mo, it looks better. Even if you're shooting, like, why would you want your vlog or your daily video to look like a cinematic production? I'm into the raw feeling, in your face type of documentary style of doing it. So that's why I don't have that much equipment when I go out and shoot or film or do whatever you do. You're sitting on a monopod with feet. So I'm not going to show you what a monopod with feet is. Just go to Google and Google a monopod with feet. It's a $20 monopod that I got off of Amazon, and it works perfect. And most of my tripods that I use, I bought from Walmart or Target or Amazon again, or wherever I see them. They're like a $15 to a $20 tripod. You don't need to spend, you know, $300 on a tripod on some sticks. That's what they're called in like TV world, you know, the actual video production world. Somebody will ask you to go grab the sticks, and that's what they're talking about as a tripod. Yeah, the Sony Next 7, that's what I'm using. Okay, the Sony one above this one, the more expensive one, the one with the big body, you know, it shoots in full frame. The Next 7 shoots in crop frame, but it doesn't really matter, because the daily YouTube watcher and the one that doesn't and watch it for like how-to videos or like camera skills or the stuff that we're talking about right now don't care. They don't care if you shoot in full frame or crop frame. It doesn't really matter, because like, the consumer doesn't, of the product that we're making right now, doesn't care. Like, yeah, some people still watch it on their phones and stuff. The YouTube still watch it on their phone. It compresses it and crops it down to whichever you're watching it on. Computer screen, phone screen, TV screen. It doesn't really matter. So, gimbals, tripods, whatever you're using, my suggestion is don't go out and buy $1,000 gimbal. Like I was saying, I'm holding this with my hands, but like I was saying, I'm using a tripod, but I'm using the monopod with feet, and I can get really good angles and smooth, buttery footage with a tripod with feet, or not a tripod, the monopod with feet. You know, I do have a gimbal head. It's not even a full gimbal, so it's just a gimbal head that fits on a regular old tripod. No electronics involved in it, and I can get smooth, crisp footage with that too. See, I would only use a gimbal. This is just me and my feeling on how I like watching stuff. I like watching raw documentary style videos, raw documentaries. I like watching documentaries raw style. So it's like, I don't mind a little shake. You know, it looks clean when there is a gimbal, but if you're on a budget and you don't want to spend $1,000, or even used ones like on eBay cost $300. You take that $300 and you buy something different, buy a good microphone, and go buy a $20 monopod with feet like I just said, and then learn how to use it like a gimbal. So if you do this daily video thing, like I should be doing these days, is daily videos, but I don't do daily videos. I do them Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But last week it was Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, because shit happens. I'm a real life person behind the lens. If you skateboard, you understand why you use a fisheye lens. Go back and just watch skate videos from the early beginnings till now. They all use fisheye lenses. You know, even with the GoPros these days, it's sick because it has a fisheye lens. And that's another thing, one more thing before we leave and before you subscribe to the channel. Here's another thought for the gimbals. Go buy a GoPro instead of a gimbal. Because when you buy the GoPro, it has that stabilization in there that's almost like being on a gimbal. And that's from actual using it, and it's really cool because like nobody knows what you're shooting on. It could be a GoPro, it could be a camera really low to pan up, get that nice, you know, feel of starting up from the feet and going up. You know, that could be on a gimbal, it could be on a GoPro on a little stick. But that's my suggestion is, instead of, you know, spending that money on a gimbal, go buy a GoPro, and you can do the exact same thing as you would on a gimbal. Then if you just want to go out and get gimbal shots, you just have a small little camera. But my thing is, instead of buying a gimbal, again, go buy a GoPro, because it has that stabilization built into the GoPro, and then you can get a little stick and do the same motions as you would with a gimbal. You could do it on a GoPro. And if you want to get, like I was talking about, the festivals or wherever you want to go, like if you do the daily thing and you want to go take your audience on, okay, I'm here, but now we have to go here because I have to go to the store and buy this and this and this. Instead of bringing your big rig setup, you bring your GoPro. Just put it on there and it'll be good. Yeah, it's better than, my opinion, it's better than using your phone. If your phone is all you have, that's what you got. But in my opinion, using a GoPro as a camera, using a camera as a camera is better for you, because you learn more, you learn the settings more. You can only do so much on a phone. You can dial in the settings on a GoPro. You can dial in the settings on your camera or whatever you're using. You know, whatever camera you're using, you can dial in the settings and get real good with it. And that's go back to what I was saying earlier on why you should buy a camera and use that camera forever. Because when you start buying the upgrade, we just gotta upgrade everything. And don't stick just with one camera. If you stick with one camera, you can turn that motherfucker on and turn it on and shoot photos and have the settings right then and there. Take photos, or it's like, oh damn, we need to get this is crazy. You can turn that on and start recording. You don't have to fiddle faddle with, I have to hit the settings. You know exactly what button to press and when to press that button. Don't be scammed into buying the newest, latest, greatest items, because like 2 years ago I was still using the VX to make YouTube videos, and that's the way it is. I didn't get into HD for the longest time because I was against it, because I was total skate vibe. But then I started watching more videos that were made in HD, and then I got a really good TV, and then now I have a better TV than I had. The HD 1080p, that's all you need to shoot in is 1080p. You can shoot in 4K, but it depends on the consumer that's watching your footage. The consumer that's watching your footage might not have a 4K TV. Their TV may not shoot out 4K. Plus, anyway, the YouTube or whatever dumbs down, so this shoots out 1080. You know, you can get a 4K camera and be all, you know, cocky and cool and say I shoot in 4K, but nobody really cares. The real consumer that watches this, other than like you and me, don't care what you're shooting on. They don't care what camera you're using. They don't care if you're shooting in 1080. They don't care if you're shooting in 4K. They're not watching a full-blown movie production. They're watching, you know, you or me making a YouTube video and watching it as entertainment. That's why people subscribe to your channel. It's for the entertainment purposes. Or if it's a channel that talks about this stuff daily, they're doing it to get knowledge. Yeah, go ahead and do all that stuff that they're talking about, but go out and do your own thing and figure out how to do it your way and not try to steal somebody else's idea and say it's yours. That's called a culture vulture. Or that's basically like a culture vulture. Or a biter. One of the two. You can be both if you want to, but try to be your own person. That's what I am. I'm my own person. I don't care if you like my videos. I don't care if you dislike my videos. I don't care if you comment on my videos. But subscribe to the channel and then you'll get to know more about what we do out here. Well, again, I want to say thank you for watching the video. You can like the video. You can dislike the video. You don't even have to subscribe to the channel if you don't want to. But I'm just throwing out my 2 cents of what I think, because, you know, it don't matter what you use when you film. It don't matter what you use when you record, you know. Does it really matter? Hmm?
Why are you like this?